guys? Black Scout Survival Late Night Live. Thanks for coming to hang out with me. So there's been a lot of stuff. I mean, every day more and more things are coming out about this attempted assassination of Donald Trump. And last night I talked about water tower shooters. There was actually 2 more eyewitnesses that we know of on video the day of the shooting. I'm going to go ahead and play those and let's talk through it.
Just screamed, "It's the sniper, it's the sniper," and he was firing down toward the water tower.
That's what we're hearing.
And yeah, and then at that same exact moment, there was a spray from the right side of the stage that I thought was some type of gas, like, or not gas, but smoke to blind, blind up front. And he said it was, he heard it.
What she's saying is she saw there was a spray of the hydraulic fluid from it.
Gunfire, hitting the hydraulic on the one track. So the gunfire was coming toward the stage.
Wow.
And then a few minutes later, there was a couple more shots down the hill, and that's when they started flooding and pushing everybody out.
So that was the first one. Here's another.
Shooter shot to the left. He killed the gentleman in the water tower here. Now, when I called my husband at home, who's watching TV, he said, I thought Trump hurt his ear when he went to the ground. But he said, no, on TV they showed before Trump hit the ground, the ear was bleeding. So that sharpshooter went across, Trump turned his head, his ear must have been nipped, and it killed somebody in the stands over to the left.
Could you see anyone injured besides the blood on the former president?
All I saw was the gentleman from Beaver County who spoke earlier in the day, who was running for the State House Representative, Elmore, I know his name. He had a white shirt on, and I saw him come from that left stands where the people were mostly shot. I think there were several. They said 3 medevacs left here. Blood was down the right side of his, he wasn't shot, but you could see that he was next to somebody who must have been bleeding profusely, because he either helped them and ran, rubbed against them, or tried to get them help or something. It was covered, so I knew.
So 2 different people are saying that they saw, and I showed a third last night. Now, this is just what we have. Okay, so I have heard information from a reliable source. They're saying Secret Service was in the water tower, but this lady's saying that the individual was shot in the water tower. Now, if we look at this not this, where is it at? This diagram here, you see the building that Crooks was supposed to be on versus the water tower. And I don't know, it makes a lot of sense, but that would mean that if it was Secret Service, I mean, they took the shot at Trump. But I guess the biggest question is, how did the telehandler's hydraulics get shot? Was it even in the shooter's line of sight? I don't personally think that angle would be able to hit that. And then I saw another video that looks like it came from behind on the railing of some guy that was standing up against the railing. But it definitely got hit because it was spraying hydraulic fluid. Now, the other thing is that he went through Secret Service security with his rangefinder to scope out the snipers who spotted him and said they need to keep an eye on him. So a lot of this came out during a Senate hearing today, which I'm going to go to. And here's a video here of him wandering around the building. This was an hour before. Now, there's also the statement they says that 3 p.m. on Saturday, roughly 3 hours before the shooting, Crook was at the security screening area for the rally. He first aroused suspicion when he passed through the metal detectors carrying a rangefinder. And according to the senior law enforcement official that briefed on the investigation, and the other thing is that he went into work at the nursing home and asked off for Saturday, and that he told his coworkers, I will see you on Sunday. He also had detonators for explosives in his car that were found. On the roof, he had 3 fully loaded magazines and bulletproof vest. Now, the firearm he had was a DPMS AR-15 that was purchased by his father in 2013. I've heard that he had a red dot on there. Okay. EOTech is what I heard. To make that shot with a non-magnified red dot is pretty incredible. Pretty incredible, to say the least. So hours before the attack, I've talked about this quite extensively, that he purchased 50 rounds of ammo from a local gun store and a ladder from Home Depot, in which he carried to the location. Now, they also found these 2 remote-controlled IEDs, or RC IEDs, remote-controlled IEDs, on his body. Now, let's not forget that the Las Vegas shooter had explosives in his car too. But the biggest question is, how in the world did this kid know how to make IEDs? How did this kid know how to make a remote-controlled IED? That's huge. Someone, I see, Stray Kitten is, I guess someone's saying my shirt's pink. Is not pink, it's faded red. It's been washed a lot, but we sold this shirt. I don't wear pink, by the way. I know some of you soy boys want to try to always say something, but yeah, it wouldn't matter if I wore pink anyway. I can outlift you. Speaking of that, somebody asked me about my supplements the other day and my workout routine. I'm going to do a video about that probably Friday, like a vertical live stream, and just talk through that, because a lot of people don't care to hear about that stuff, which you should, which you really should, especially at this point in time with the way our country's going. You need to be getting physically fit, you know. But they were asking about my supplements and things, and I take Black Force supplements. I talk about it all the time. I tell you what I take. And they've got a new product come out. You may have got an email. I told you guys about it. You're going to get 50% off right now, the supercharged cocoa flavanols. Now, what I do with this thing is I put it in my protein shake. Here it is here. If I can get to it. This is the new supercharged one. So it's already 35% off, and use code SUPERCHARGE. And I'll put this in the link below in the description, as well as the pinned comment. But this has 1,200 milligrams of cocoa flavanols and 600 milligrams of cocoa flavonoids per serving. Like I said, what I do with this is I put it in my protein shake, or I mix it into my black coffee if I'm not drinking a protein shake that morning. Now, there's so much to this. I showed a video the other week when I was talking about the various supplements I take. But Dr. Mike, who I showed, he talked about how it's been researched to help stem cell rejuvenation. Now, people spend a ton of money on that stuff. It also reduces blood pressure. It increases nitric oxide. Nitric oxide gives you that pump look. Okay. A lot of people take nitric oxide supplements. I'd rather take something natural than a chemical. The cocoa flavanols gives you that nitric oxide, so you have that pump. Your muscles are always full look. Helps with cardiovascular health, cardio. So if you got high blood pressure, all these sort of things. And the stem cell benefits is huge. Cognitive, all those sort of things. So you get 35% off now, 15 using code SUPERCHARGED. You can't beat that deal. To try it out, at least try it out and let me know. Let me know how you like it. And the thing is, dude, all of my friends are on Black Force supplements. They spend the money out of their pocket. My uncle's on it, who I'm very close to, and my father's on Black Force supplement. I would not have my family members and friends on it if I was shilling it. I wouldn't be taking it myself. I take it every day. I take the Black Force supplements line every day. If you already have low blood pressure, it's not going to hurt your blood pressure. It's because of people with high blood pressure. You have problem. Like me, I have hereditary high blood pressure. It doesn't matter how good a shape I'm in, how healthy I eat, I just have high blood pressure. So this is obviously a benefit. And obviously women can take this stuff as well. I highly encourage it. I think it's a great thing. And it's a great deal. I'm going to put up the QR code so you can just hit that to go to the link. And also I'll put it below as well, guys. This is only going on for, I think, 48 hours. So definitely jump in on it because you can't beat that deal. And I just wanted to mention that. People ask me all the time. The thing is real quick. If you followed me the whole time I've been on YouTube, 12 years, you've seen fluctuations in my body. But the thing is, right now, for the past 2 years, I've prioritized bodybuilding. So bodybuilding is building muscle, hypertrophy training for building muscle, not necessarily strength. You do build strength, but it's not the primary focus. The primary focus is building muscle tissue, right? So you're bigger, you're stronger, those sort of things. So if you're wondering why, I've focused my training on bodybuilding. So I'm not competing or anything. I'm not going to wear a thong on stage or anything like that. So don't worry about that. Anyway, let's get back to the subject. Go get it. 48 hours, 50% off, 35% off right now. Add the 15% code SUPERCHARGE. Get on it. Try it out. Let me know what you think. And people in the comments, a lot of my followers are on Black Forest supplements. Tell the people what you think, okay? Or how it's helped you, because I get comments all the time. Dudes are getting jacked, ripped. Their wives are getting ripped. They send me photos. They send stuff all the time. People send me thank yous. And I just want to help people be better, man. It helps you with confidence. It makes you feel better. You're healthier. So those sort of things. It's not about being more jacked than the next guy, which that's cool. But, it's just making a better you. Anyway, let's get back. So the Senate briefing today released that he was on the site a few days in advance to scope out. So they knew he was already there. So 62 minutes elapsed between the time the shooter was photographed for being a suspicious person. That photo that you've seen over the back where you see the Demolition Ranch shirt was the photo they took 62 minutes beforehand. So they already knew and he was suspicious. This was 62 minutes before he fired the shots. 20 minutes elapsed from the time that the sniper saw him until when he fired the shots. And FBI Director Ray said they don't think there was a foreign nexus or any established motive at this point. He just woke up one day and decided to do this. The shooter used encrypted communications. Who was he talking to then? He was using, this is from Christopher Wray, the FBI, said he was using encrypted communications. Who was he talking to then? He had no social media presence, they said, but he followed Demolition Ranch, who is a YouTuber. But he's not on social media? I'm not buying it. Now, Thomas Crook's parents were looking for him on Saturday, just a few hours leading up to the Trump rally shooting. They called law enforcement to indicate that he was missing. Now, I'm going to play some videos for you. Here you go.
Just learned that the Trump rally shooter, Thomas Crook's parents, were looking for him in the hours leading up to the shooting. We're now told they eventually called law enforcement to report that Crooks was missing, and they were worried. And they also were told, those parents are now being cooperative now with authorities, but they gave them the heads up that something's going on with our son. We are worried. We don't know the texture or the details of their concerns. So in other words, well, were they worried that he had a gun? Were they worried? What were they worried about? Were they worried that he was going to try to attempt to kill a sitting president and then go ahead and turn into an assassin and kill another person and injure two others? It was an attempted assassination on Trump, but he managed to murder anyway. Are we talking about that? What were they giving the cops a heads up about? This is the first time we are hearing this. We'll stay on the story and we will bring you the details, updates as we get them. Crook's parents were looking for him hours ahead of the assassination attempt.
So The parents, let's put this in perspective. The parents thought that they should call in for a 20-year-old, fully grown adult. Why would they do that unless they knew something? Did they know he took the rifle? And they weren't cooperative at first. You heard him say that. Here's another piece here.
Parents.
Hi, John. Well, federal investigators continue to piece together a timeline of what happened before, during, and after the shooting. We now know that included a phone call from the shooter's parents to law enforcement on the day of the rally to say they couldn't find their son. This, as an alarming new photo obtained by local station WPXI, shows the cell phone and transmitter device found next to Thomas Matthew Crooks' body after the attempted assassination. Crooks had explosives inside his car, found parked near the rally, and bomb-making materials inside his home. The alarming photo raises questions about whether Crooks had other plans as he opened fire from a building less than 200 yards away from the rally stage, while positioned on a rooftop, which the Secret Service says was within a perimeter.
Called police.
Yeah, so why would they call police? That's weird. How many of you have left your home for a few hours and your parents called the police on you? That is strange. So they knew something.
About the shooter minutes before Donald Trump took the stage. For more, we want to go to Aisha because there was a briefing today. You got some information about what happened, Aisha?
Dana, good afternoon to you. We just got a big information dump, and some of it is deeply, deeply troubling. So I'm going to hold your hand and walk you through this. Just bear with me here. A lot of notes that I'm going to look at here. Just about a couple minutes ago, these senators came out of this briefing with Secret Service. They've been asking for it for days now. Finally got it with the director and Secret Service staff. And the top headline that has come out of it, according to Senator John Barrasso, just spoke to him as soon as he hung up on this briefing. He said that apparently the Secret Service had identified as a character of suspicion this man, the shooter, because they saw a rangefinder on him as well as a backpack. And this all happened more than an hour before the shooting actually occurred. So they saw the guy and they identified this guy as suspicious. Now, more details coming from a source familiar here who was also in the meeting tells me that about 10 minutes before former President Trump went onto the stage, they had gone from looking at this guy as suspicious to now looking at him as a threat. That is coming from this briefing that the senators were in. They were told that Secret Service had called it in to a center that this guy they now identified as a threat about 10 minutes before President Trump walked on stage, and they still allowed him to walk onto that stage. I'm told the Secret Service agent in charge there was on the phone with local and state police about the threat while the shooting was taking place. That's huge. And that is raising a lot of concerns and now major calls for the director of the Secret Service to step down immediately.
So again, this kid, I saw another video from one of his classmates that said that he was not really bullied. He was actually an arrogant prick is what they said, that he thought he was better than everyone in this sort of thing because he was very intelligent. He had encrypted communications. Who the hell was he talking to? And I think we know the answer to that. But again, multiple shooters have been witnessed. The trajectory of the shot doesn't line up. Secret Service spotted him 3 hours before the shooting. They still allowed him to go up there. You had the crowd pointing and saying he's up there. But let's look at the facts of what's happened outside of the shooting. I think they're desperate now because Trump is still alive. Biden is finalizing plans to endorse major changes in the Supreme Court in the next few weeks, including proposals to establish term limits for justices and an enforceable ethics code. This was leaked that this is coming. So the justices obviously have lots of power. They can make a lot of moves. Now let's look at the timeline. Trump and Biden debate. Biden looks terrible. Everyone is calling for him to step down. But did you realize a few days later, next week, everybody's like, no, we got to back Joe Biden. He's our guy. Joe Biden says he's not stepping down. A couple days before the shooting, all of a sudden, the failed assassination attempt, now they're saying for Biden to step down again because Trump survived it. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer forcefully made a case that would be best if Joe Biden steps down. He said he was very blunt in a one-on-one conversation and told him he needs to bow out of the race. Now, Biden now says that he will step down if a medical condition prompts him to drop out. And he just tested positive for the coof. Wow, strange times. The other thing is that you heard Zelensky the following day after the debate immediately asked for a peace deal, but then that stopped. Joe Biden sent him more aid. After the failed assassination attempt, Zelensky has came out and said he wants a peace deal now because Trump survived. Now, something else to consider is this, because a lot of people say, well, Joe Biden can't step down. Well, actually, he can. DNC rules allow them to pick a replacement should the nominee drop out. An early nomination means the theoretical eventual nominee, the Biden replacement, can be featured at their convention, right? Even Donald Trump said this today. If I can get it to come up. Trump campaign responds to vice presidential race. We don't know who the Democrat nominee for vice president is going to be, so we can't lock in a date before the convention. To do so would be unfair to Gavin Newsom, Pritzker, or Whitmer, or whoever Kamala Harris picks as her running mate. So it's pretty much known. And like I've been saying, and people said, oh, you don't know what I'm talking about. Joe Biden will not be running for president. I would put anything on it. So then you have CNN saying this today.
You've got the nominees of this party getting their butts kissed. Biden's getting his butt kicked by his own party. The Democrats are coming apart. The Republicans are coming together.
So what they said is the beginning of that clip, I guess I cut it, but he says that Joe Biden got shut down from a virus. Donald Trump got shot and he's still working. Now, you want us to believe, they want us to believe, you've heard them in feeding this, that law enforcement intelligence knew weeks in advance that Iran was planning to assassinate Donald Trump. But they didn't know about a 20-year-old sniper. And again, people in the past few videos has said that I'm a conspiracy theorist and I need to let the FBI do this investigation. You know, firstly, I take that as a compliment because when I'm called a conspiracy theorist, that just means I'm 6 months ahead of most people. And you're probably also the type of person that trusted the science and probably got a bunch of boosters. You know, what really sounds like a conspiracy theory to me is a 20-year-old with zero EOD or bomb-making military experience was able to build a remote-controlled IED, was able to sneak past Secret Service and gain access to a roof across from the president using a DPMS rifle with an EOTech to shoot at the president with no help. That sounds like a conspiracy theory to me. And no internet trail. Somehow he figured out how to do all this without ever searching the internet. Like, I literally have more of a digital footprint from just checking the weather than this guy. He had a YouTuber's merch shirt on that he doesn't follow social media. And then we had the FBI pressure washing the roof. Is this something that the FBI typically does? Or were they washing away evidence? And this roof is not too sloped for the FBI agent to be up there spraying water on it, which is slippery. Now, the other thing is that came out today is that Mayorkas, Department of Homeland Security, is attempting to block the Secret Service Director, Kimberly Cheadle, from testifying. To me, that just really further proves our suspicions. Why would they not want her to talk to Congress? With every piece of evidence, the rational person can see that they deliberately kneecapped Trump's security to allow assassination attempt. That's what it looks like. That's what the evidence shows. I've also heard there was 3 or 4 Secret Service sniper teams there. And the one pictured is not the one that took the shot, is what they're saying. The one that the viral picture, the one that's even on this thumbnail, this is not the guy who took the shot initially. So there's just so much surrounding this that to make it believable from what they're saying is the freaking conspiracy theory. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this is baffling to me. It's like the Las Vegas shooter over again. That thing disappeared. It disappeared. And there was so much weird stuff going on with that when it was happening as well. So, guys, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Go pick up some Black Force supplements for the next 40 hours with that deal. I'm going to put the link below and all that sort of stuff. And, guys, remember to stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous. Take care.